Hi guys, welcome. In today's video, I'm sharing my full wig making routine. I'm sharing all the tips, tricks, everything you need to know. This video is packed full of information, so please grab a drink, snack, something to eat and get comfortable. But before we get started, hi babe, my name is Cher and I teach women that are dealing with hair loss how to make, style, and install their own wigs. You don't have to be a hairdresser because I'm not, but I believe that if I can do it, you can do it too. I have a free ebook which I will link below. You can find that ebook when you go on the blog www.intowigs.com. So, the first thing I like to do when I make my wig is I like to go and adjust my wig cap. I use an adjustable wig cap, and this wig cap comes with these flaps on the side, these ear flaps, and I don't like these flaps because they are stiff and they make my wig look bumpy. So adjusting the wig cap, this is a step I only do when I make a closure wig. So I just get rid of these ear flaps and that's it. The cap size I'm using is a size small, and when I'm done adjusting the wig cap, I like to go and turn the wig cap around so the adjustable part and the straps, the part of the wig where I can hook, where I can adjust it basically, I turn it inside out. And I do that because I don't like the hooks to get stuck in my natural hair. It causes breakage. I think this is a tip I got from Chrissy Bales, also here on YouTube. I might link her channel below, but and I thought it was a very good tip, so I'm using it ever since I got a tip from her. The next thing I like to do is closure placement. So as you can see, the way I've adjusted the wig cap, it leaves some space for me on the top where I'm going to sew the closure, and that space, it's a little bit in front of the cap and it's like 1 centimeter. It's very important that you place your wig cap at least 1 centimeter to 1.5 centimeter in front of the wig cap before you get started, before you start sewing. So I made a mark on the middle of my closure, and I used the middle part of the wig cap as a guide, and I place that mark exactly on that middle part, but then pull it a little bit in front, so I have that 1 centimeter space in front. This is very important because it will help your wig, your closure, to look more realistic, and it also helps to make your wig lay flat in the front. So another important step with closure placement is that you have to make sure that all the sides are flat. Do you see that? Make sure it is flat, because that's gonna in that way you won't have any bumpiness around the closure when you're going to sew it, when you're going to stitch it. The next step is sewing the closure. Another important thing you need to know when you're going to sew the closure is to sew the sides down first. That's important because if you're gonna sew all the way around, you might risk a chance of your closure being out of place, out of its place. Yeah. And take your time, watch as I go, how I'm sewing it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I will answer them for you. Now we are done sewing the closure, and do you see how flat it is? That is what you want to achieve. The next step is sewing the bundles. I start sewing the longest bundle first. For this wig I've used two bundles, an 18-inch and a 20-inch bundle, and right now I'm starting with the 20-inch bundle first. I'm starting with the longest bundle first, the 18-inch bundle, and I'm doubling the wefts. So I'm doubling the tracks. I don't like to cut the tracks of my bundles if I don't need to. So usually when I make my wigs, I do the fold over method. So instead of cutting the tracks to start a new row, or to start sewing a new row, I fold the track over. And when you double the wefts, it's important that when you're getting closer to the end of the row you're sewing the track onto, it's important to separate the tracks and then continue sewing the first track and fold it over. So if you fold the tracks over separately, is that a word? If you fold the tracks over in a separate way, this will make your wig come out flat. That's it. That's how you can get a flat wig. You have to separate the tracks, and then you continue with one track, continue sewing until you've made the transition to the next row. And then while you sew that one track on the new row, you pick the other track you left behind and you join it with the second track. So you join those tracks together again. That's how you can get a flat wig. So now that we are done with the first bundle, we're gonna start with the second bundle, which is an 18-inch bundle. And this time I'm not gonna double the tracks, but I'm gonna single the tracks when I'm gonna sew this bundle down. But before I start sewing the bundle down all the way around, there's something I like to do when I make a closure wig, and that is I like to go and sew at least at least 2 to 3 tracks very close to the closure. And this is the only time I cut the wefts. So when I sew these 2 to 3 tracks close to the closure, I cut the tracks. So this time I've sewed 2 tracks close to the closure, and now we're gonna continue to finish our wig, and we're gonna do this by sewing a single weft. So we're not gonna double the track this time, just because we don't want to run out of hair. I only have 2 bundles and they have to fit in there. we are done making the wig. Look how beautiful this wig is. Look at the inside of the wig cap. It looks so beautiful and professionally made, and I am so proud of myself. The next step is cutting the excess cap under the closure. So be careful when you cut the excess cap out. Be careful not to cut the stitches you've made. The next step I like to do is to dye the wig black. But before I'm going to dye the hair black, I'm going to protect the closure by spraying it with the Gotta Be glue spray. And I spray it all over the closure, and it is important to let it dry down. That's the only way the Gotta Be glue or the very strong hold spray is going to protect your closure. You have to blow dry it or make sure it's dried down. And I'm using this color from Wella. It's the 2.0 I think, which is black. And the mixing ratio is 1 part of the dye with 2 parts of the developer. So as you can see, I'm using 30 grams of the dye, which means I have to go in with 60 grams of the developer, which will give us a total of 90 grams. So this is just an extra step in my wig making routine, and I feel like dyeing the hair black makes the hair looks healthy, you know, luxurious. You don't see any wet hair strands or filler hair strands. And sometimes I don't like that 1B color. I don't always like that, but that's me. So you don't have to do this step, but if you do, remember, protect the lace by spraying it with the Gotta Be hairspray, and make sure you dry that spray down. Make sure it's dry before you go and color the hair. And when you color the hair, be careful as well. Even though you've used the Gotta Be glue to protect it, you still have to be careful not to let the dye touch the closure or the lace. Another important thing is I dye my hair black before I color the knots on the closure. I do this because if I dye the lace on the closure black by accident, the bleach will lift that dye off the closure. So it's a second chance of correcting my mistakes if by accident I've colored the lace on the closure. Now the next step is bleaching the knots. When we're gonna make the bleaching mixture, make sure you make a thick, you create a thick consistency. If you make a thick consistency, it will not get through the lace, and you won't end up with over bleached knots. So take your time and do this step. Place the mixture very light on the closure, and start from the back and work your way towards the front of the closure. Then you leave the mixture, let it sit for 30 to 45 minutes, and then you wash it off with the purple shampoo. The purple shampoo is important because it will neutralize all of the the brassiness on the hair, on the bleached hair. It will neutralize it. Also the fire red color, it will get away if you use the purple shampoo. Use it for at least 10 to 15 minutes, let it sit, and then you wash it out. And then it's time to pluck the hairline. Now before I start plucking the hairline, I like to use a red tail comb, and I go into the hairline in a zigzag motion. I like to make a zigzag parting space, and then I start plucking the hairline. I don't like to pluck too much, but for each its own. If you like to pluck a lot, you pluck a lot. I don't like that. I just pluck enough that it looks realistic enough for me, because I feel like in time the hair, the hair gets less, and it ends up sometimes making your closure looks bald, and I don't like that. So I don't pluck unnecessarily if I don't need to. Like, this is an everyday work wig, so I don't need to pluck too much. So it's important not to pluck in one place. Keep it moving. Keep it moving with your tweezers. Keep it moving. So don't stay in one place, because you'll end up with a bald spot. And if you're not sure where to start tweezing, start behind the hairline like I did. You don't have to start tweezing in front of the hairline. So if you make a mistake, if you start behind the hairline and you've tweezed a little bit too much there, you still have some hair in front that can get over that little bald spot you created. So that's a safe way to start behind the hairline, and take your time with this step as well. If this video is going too fast for you, YouTube has an option to slow down the video. So you just have to check at the settings and slow the video speed down a little bit so you can follow it better. But do you see how I go and plug behind the hairline? That's how you should do it, and don't stay in one place. Please, I don't want you to end up with a bald spot. And if you're afraid to do it, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't need to plug. But do you see how natural my closure looks right now? It's not that full anymore, and it just has a natural plucked hairline, and that's how I like it. Now we're gonna start by styling the hair. I haven't showed it in this video, but before I went and blow dried the hair, I've used a heat protectant. Please, please, please always use a heat protectant when you're gonna apply any form of heat on your hair. After blow drying the hair, I'm gonna go and blend the part of the closure with the edges of the closure with the wefts. I'm gonna blend it, and I do that by using my my foam, which is mixed with 50% foam and 50% water. I do this so that part doesn't end up looking too greasy. So I feel like the foam is a little bit greasy, so that's why I dilute it with water. And then I go in with my hot comb and smooth it out, blend it together, that part. I also use a strong holding spray to keep that blended section in place, so it will stay in place even when the wind blows. Nothing will get refilled. I also use the hot comb to go and define my parting section and to make that closure as flat as possible. I don't use any products when I do this step because I don't like the closure to look greasy. Now after that, I'm gonna start curling the hair and just watch as I go. And I use a holding spray to set the curls on each section. So when I finish curling the hair, I use the holding spray to set the curls. Don't use too much of the holding spray because you don't want your hair to end up looking and feeling stiff. You still want that body and movement, and just spray it a little bit so you know it can keep the curl throughout the day. Now that we are done removing all of the hairpins, I'm gonna use a tiny bit of oil, like the smallest drop ever. The tiniest amount of oil to to smooth out any frizz. I do like some frizz, but yeah. Now we're gonna start sewing the elastic band, and just sew the elastic band on the thick edges of the closure. You know, I even like to go and sew it through the closure, the edges of the closure, and through the wig cap. You know, that part that the closure is sewed onto the wig cap. I like to take those two parts together and I sew the elastic band through those parts. Also, just measure the length of your elastic band. Don't cut it too short, because if you cut the elastic band too short, or if you sew down an elastic band that is too short, you will end up having a headache. I'm not kidding. You will end up feeling nauseous. You'll have a headache. You'll just wanna, I don't know, you just want to hurt somebody. That's how you're gonna feel. It's horrible, that feeling, y'all. So don't make it too tight. Don't torture yourself, and just take 2 or 3 inches of that elastic band. When you measure it from ear to ear, take 2 or 3 inches off, and that's it. Don't take too much off, because you're gonna end up with headache. Now after sewing the elastic band, I like to go in and tint the lace. This lace needed some tinting, because you see it looks white, and I'm a dark-skinned woman, so it needed some tinting. You're gonna see it, otherwise you're gonna see it. And I don't know if I showed it in the video, but the lace tint I'm using is the tint called Caramel Frappe from the Wig Gurus, and I think it's a company based in the United Kingdom, in the UK. And the Caramel Frappe, I love it. I'm so greedy using it because I'm almost done and I have to order another bottle, but that's why I'm just spraying only that part of the parting section and the front of my lace. Now we're gonna start with the application. Look at how beautiful our wig looks. I have my wig grip on and I'm gonna start applying the wig. But we need to clean our forehead first with alcohol, and the alcohol will give your application a better hold throughout the day because it removes any oil, makeup, dirt, whatever. And I think I'm using 90% alcohol. You don't have to use that high percentage. And then I'm gonna use my favorite adhesive, which is the Bold Hold Liquid Gold. Is a adhesive that is soluble in water, so you can take your wig off by just wetting that section of the Bold Hold Liquid Gold with water, and your wig will come off like that. But this is how I use the product, the application. And then I go in and use an edge comb, and I just wet this comb with water, nothing, no mousse, nothing, just water, and I fix my baby hairs. And guys, I do have a blog post of the Bold Hold Liquid Gold where I review the product. You can go and read it on my blog. Visit intowigs.com and you'll see the review, and just say hi if you come from YouTube. Let me know that you came from YouTube and say hi, okay? And then I go and use this is the Chrissy Bale's Edge Slayer. I bought it from Chrissy Bale's here on YouTube, and I love it. It's very easy. If you don't have this edge layer, just go and tie your hair with something. You need to tie it for that perfect melt. This step is important. Now we're gonna take it off. I went and do my makeup, got ready, and don't tell me nothing. Don't tell me that I didn't do a good job. Look at this. Look at this. Doesn't it look like my hair? Wig where? Where? It's my happy dance, you know, cause yay, we did it. I hope this video was helpful, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Remember, I have a free ebook. I will leave a link below where you can get it. Read my blog, thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.